Hi, welcome to Canberra, and also welcome here to the Canberra railway station here at Kingston. Now today's trip is from Canberra here to Junee. Now the trip starts from Canberra with a coach service from Canberra through to Cootamundra, where we're going to change and we're going to catch the Sydney to Melbourne XPT from Cootamundra down to Junee. The trip should take about 5 hours. Anyway, the tickets we bought were Country Pensioner Excursion tickets, and to get them we used a seniors card when we booked the trip, and we booked less than 7 days before departure, so the fare came to a total of $2.50 each. Not a bad deal. Anyway, the coach should be here in a few minutes. As it says, we want Cootamundra at 9:22. Here it is now, Cootamundra. They left the front seat for me. Well, we're away bright and early, right on time. Now, after leaving Kingston station, the coach also stops in the middle of Canberra to pick up passengers. We're now on the Barton highway, and the next stop is Yass Junction, the railway station there. Unfortunately, we don't go right through the middle of Yass town. We make a detour and go around the back of the town. Here we are at the coach stop for Yass. We certainly have some beautiful old buildings. Now Yass railway station is a few kilometres from Yass town, so we're heading out there now. Some years ago they had a branch line running from Yass Junction railway station into Yass town, and that's just about all that's left of it. And of course here we are at Yass Junction. "5 minutes here at Yass Junction, so I'll get out and have a look around. Now just down there, I think that's the old railway line, the branch line into Yass town. But of course that hasn't been used for years. And of course just down here is the Yass signal box, and that probably hasn't been used for a few years either. Now the coach driver told me I only got 2 minutes, but I got to come and have a look at this old signal box. Oh, look at that. Oh, fantastic. Oh. Unfortunately, we can't see into the signal box, but there's a freight train leaving. We'll get that in. I better go full speed ahead. I'm holding up this coach. Our next stop is Bowning. Main southern line between Sydney and Melbourne. Wow, that was a nice little town. Has a railway station, but I think it's been quite a few years since trains have actually stopped there. The railway station down there. Now here we are at Harden. I thought the bus would loop down around the railway station, but it doesn't go anywhere near the railway station these days. Harden's an interesting town because its heyday was back in the steam era. Now, steam locomotives would leave Goulburn, and by the time they got to Harden, they'd just about run out of coal and water. So they'd take the steam locomotives off the trains and then replace them with new locomotives, which then the train would head through to Junee, and then it'd be all changed over again. Now the interesting thing about this town, they had a coal stage here where the express passenger trains would come in and load the coal from a coaling stage, and load the coal from up top down into the tender, and then also they'd fill them up with water. So it'd be quick for express passenger trains, but only express passenger trains got that treatment because they kept the best coal for all the crack trains like the Veranda Express. Of course, when steam finished and diesels took over, the town became pretty quiet. The town was also a major junction for the line that ran from the main western line at Bowning out through places like Cowra and Young into Harden. So it was also a junction, but that line was closed only about 15 years ago, I think. So that took the junction aspect railway wise, Harden's not a big stop. It's not the stop that it certainly used to be back in the 1950s and 60s, but still, it's a nice little town. Now, the last time I passed through Harden, it was a bit quiet, but that was, would have been about 10, 15 years ago. But after passing through it there today, it seems to have got a lot more busier, and it gives the impression that it's developed itself into a service town. And I suppose it's the same for Cootamundra. Now, if you live in the area or you know a lot about this area, please let us know in the comments. That'd be really good. Thanks.
Now that we're here, we're going to locate the train station, which is up around the corner here. That's as far as we go on this bus. You do have to hop off here. Walk through the automatic glass doors. You'll be inside a bit of a waiting room there. It's air conditioned with some seats. There are toilets in there. Ticket office, where any of your
Well, that's the end of the coach part of the journey, and welcome to Cootamundra. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. It was a great trip.
Okay, thank you.
See you next time. Now, of course, Cootamundra is an important rail bus interchange point. Now, we've just come in from Canberra, and this bus here, I think it's just, from Hay, Refreshment and Temora. Now there should be another one coming in soon from Mildura, and I think that left Mildura something like about just after 3 o'clock this morning. As you can see, we've just walked through a nice air-conditioned waiting room here. Now that's not too bad because it's about 36 degrees in the shade at the moment. Now, there used to be a cafe here where you could grab a cup of coffee and something to eat and a drink, but it's not open anymore. But anyway, we'll check to see our train, if our train's on time, and that's the Sydney to Melbourne XPT. Yes, that's our train. Departs in 21 minutes, the Melbourne train. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't we catch a train from Canberra through to Goulburn, and then at Goulburn we could catch the Sydney to Melbourne XPT, which would then take us to Junee. Well, we could have, but when I went to the New South Wales TrainLink website to make the booking, and I told it that I wanted to go from Canberra through to Junee, it just gave me the option of travelling on the bus or coach from Canberra down to Cootamundra, and then from Cootamundra down to Junee. Now, of course, if you want to, you can catch the train from Canberra through to Goulburn and then meet the Sydney to Melbourne XPT there. Now, the thing is, the train leaves at 5 to 7 in the morning, and the coach service we went on leaves at 20 past 9, so it takes about 2.5 hours longer to go by train all the way. But I enjoy the coach. Sit up the front, and there's a few small towns I'd never been to, like Geelong, Yass. I'd never been through Yass. I'd always wondered what it was like. So unfortunately there's no cafe here, as I mentioned before, at Cootamundra. They've closed it for some reason, probably not enough business. They have a couple of trains a day, so they should get a bit of business. But anyway, it's closed. Unfortunately, the walk up town it's like a 5 to 10 minute walk into Cootamundra. If you got the time, it's worth it to go up there. It's a nice little town. But we've only got 27 minutes before the train leaves, or 21 I think it is now. So we'll be staying here at the station. The train should be in very shortly. Welcome to Cootamundra.
Thank you.
Our ruffians on our train.
Well, how come you get on?
Are you getting on?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, you get which carriage are you getting on?
Yours.
When he first started doing a bit longer into Melbourne or not? 20 minutes
Yeah, 2 vegetarian pasties, thanks.
Alright, let's go, yeah.
That's all, thanks. That'll be right, thanks. Not too bad. A vegetable pasty.
Cheers.
Gay asked me to pass this on.
Well, welcome to Junee. Well, you don't see many news agencies like this, do you? Well, I don't believe it. Not many news agencies have the Railway Digest. We're staying at the Junee Hotel, and it's just across the road there. Now here it is, the Junee Hotel. Now, okay, you could go and stay in some fancy motel down the road or something like that, but hey, we're in Junee, so we've got to stay somewhere with a bit of history about it. Just give us a couple of minutes, let me check in, and I'll take you up and give you a look at the room. Now we're in room 14 here at the Junee Hotel. Now it's pretty simple, but you get a TV, and you get a lantern and a picture. And the most important thing is you get an excellent view of the railway line. If you book online, you'll get a back room because the back room's a bit quieter. But if you want a front room so you can watch the trains go through all night, well, you got to call them and ask for one. There's the station straight across the road. And of course, here's the hotel veranda. It's just gigantic. Well, here we are, Junee Hotel. Yeah, schooner Reschs, thanks.
You go?
Oh, great, thanks very much. That's beautiful. It's about 38 degrees outside. Perfect day for drinking beer. Now we've just been invited in for a quick look into the Athenaeum Theatre, if I can just get that right. Oh, look at that. This is well, for dinner we've come to the Junee Ex-Services Memorial Club, and they've got a curry special for just $16. 15. Check this out. Like, where in the world can you eat for 15 Aussie dollars? Let's taste it anyway.
Nicholas, is there in fact an RSL cover Junee? No.
Lamb vindaloo. Delicious. Now, it's a beautiful, mild morning this morning here in Junee, but it's probably going to get to about 38, 40 degrees today. Now, we checked out a few Vinnies stores in the country, and when we check them out, we always notice that they got some interesting things you don't see in the city, and also the prices are a lot less than the city prices. So if you come to the country, especially out west, check out the Vinnies. It's the best bakery in town.
It's the only one.
A real old-fashioned bakery. I asked for a large cappuccino, and we got one cake which we were going to cut in half. Anyway, she not only cut the cakes in half for us, but she split the coffee up for us, so we got our own cup each. That was very nice. And also, when I buy cakes and coffee, I get a large coffee and a cake in Sydney. It always comes about $14 or $15, $16. But here, it only came to 11. So if you're coming to Junee, this is the best place for a coffee and cake.
This is home now. I like to be close to my kids in Goulburn. But yeah, I spent 3 years contracting.
Very nice.
Coaching, getting ready.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Some woodworking tools. Now this would be a welcome sight on a hot day of summer, wouldn't it? Beautiful. Now back in the days of steam locomotives could only do 100, 150 miles before they had to be taken off, and they had to put another locomotive on so they could give the old locomotive a feed of coal and a drink of water and the smoke. They had to take the ash out of the ashtrays and the smoke box, and there's a whole pile of work they had to do. But while they sat in the stations like Goulburn, Junee and Albury, they built large refreshment rooms large enough to take all the passengers on a busy train. Now, Junee was one of the most famous ones actually on the line. It's not open from the platform, but it's open from the other side, so we'll go around the other side. Now just up there is the bell, and when the train come in and it was ready to go, they'd ring the bell. Oh, this is beautiful, isn't it? Oh. And it's still operating. Well, we're very lucky today. We know a friend who lives in Junee here, and he's just driven us down to the Junee Railway Museum. So we're going in to have a look now.
Charge more triple, will you please? You press this button. Where's well, they can get you pressing a button.
Ah. Press that button and it all starts. Right.
There we go. Models, but they're readily available in there.
Yeah, it's a nice layout, isn't it?
Did you get the logo?
Yep. Now here we are at the Roundhouse. One of my favourite locomotives is the 36 class. So we'll duck in and have a quick look. Beautiful. Right, time to go. Oh, trouble is we haven't got any steam up. It looks like the braking system. There's the throttle, or the regulator as they call it. Now, as much as I would have loved to have been a steam engine driver, gee, it would have been hard work. Like, I mean, imagine shoveling that coal, like you probably rusted on it somewhere like Broadmeadow, and you have to shovel all that coal by the time you got, or most of it, by the time you got to Reschs Creek. And then that'd be the end of your shift. That'd be hard work. Now the last time I saw this engine, or one of these 36 class engines, was May 1966, and I'd got off a train at Broadmeadow Station and two of them rolled in, a double 36, and it was hauling the Brisbane Express via Wallangarra. And that was the last time I saw the Brisbane Express. It was also the last time I saw a 36 class in action. Who, of course, fondly remembers these carriages? Ah, yes. Now, who slept in one of these? Back in the days when you're a lot skinnier. Well, it's finally time to head back to Sydney, and we're waiting for the 1:51 service from Junee, which is going to take us up to Central Station. I think it's running about half an hour late because it's about 40 degrees, and they run all the trains slow because they're worried about what sort of condition the track's in. The southbound train, the Melbourne XPT, that just left about 15 minutes ago. That was running late also. The driver who's driving this, it's his last trip.
He's looking. Oh, that was nice.
Well, goodbye Junee, and we're now on our way back to Sydney.
See if I can see the name of this place. There you go, there's some logos. There. Yep, that's it.
Any rubbish?
Goulburn, please prepare to do so. Through luggage can be collected on the platform towards the front of the train shortly after arrival. Goulburn will be our next stop.
Well, welcome back to Sydney. The trip took about 6 hours. We got in a bit late, but we made it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.